Hey everybody, welcome back to the family channel.
Hello.
We hope you guys are having a fantastically awesome day so far. As you can tell, it is just Kat and myself today, and that is because the kids are upstairs studying their little butts off.
Oh, they are.
Especially Leia. Leia, it's a big year for Leia. It's her last year in primary school, so they've got big exams, and this week she's got, what's it called?
On Thursday, she's got a mock test. So basically, it's like a practice big test. And she's really stressing about it.
It's only a mock test or mock exam, but she's really stressing, which is a good thing in a way because it shows she cares. And I'm quite proud of her the way she's basically locked herself in a room and she's studying. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud of her, especially because it's maths and she hates maths.
Yeah, she's not keen on it.
I'm not either. But seeing as though the kids aren't here, we are doing a military video. And today we are reacting to China challenged US helicopter big mistake. To tell you the truth, I've messed that title up about 4 times now, so I'm quite pleased I did it. I'm not going to do it again, but that's what video we're reacting to. Before we get into today's video, if you guys haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support our channel, please use our Amazon affiliate link down in the description. It won't cost you any money, but if you do any shopping on Amazon, we'll get a little bit of a commission, which will go towards our savings to hopefully come over to America next year. We're hoping, aren't we?
Yes.
The year is getting shorter and shorter, but we are trying our hardest, I promise you.
Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, let's check out China challenged US helicopter. Big mistake. Try to say it 3 times
At
fast.
2:30 p.m. local over the South China Sea, an American helicopter was doing something that made Beijing very nervous. To counter this, they scrambled their best attack helicopter to stop
Cool
it.
looking.
But the Chinese pilot didn't know he was about to make a career-ending mistake. For the next 72 minutes, while trying to intimidate the most powerful Navy on Earth, this pilot would accidentally teach the Americans something Beijing never wanted them to know. The Chinese Z-10 pilot had been scrambled from Xiamen 28 minutes earlier with orders that basically amounted to go scare off the Americans. The U.S. Navy MH-60.
That's like terrible order, isn't it? Because it's not going to
Yeah.
happen. Go scare them off. You go scare them off.
Is it just one
I
guy?
think so.
Some big guy.
Romeo, think of it as basically the Swiss Army knife of military helicopters, was busy tracking a Chinese type O-39 diesel submarine. The sub had been submerged for 48 hours and was desperately trying to recharge its batteries. Diesel subs are like holding your breath underwater. Eventually, you have to come up for air, and when you do,
Sorry to
America
pause
is
again. I
watching.
didn't even know there was a diesel sub. I thought they were all like nuclear now. Imagine that, like you run out of fuel.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
What
he's
do you
saying.
do?
It's basically like holding your breath, he said. Holy
Time
smoke.
to recharge its batteries. Diesel subs are like holding your breath underwater. Eventually, you have to come up for air, and when you do, America is watching. Foreign military aircraft, you are approaching Chinese territorial waters. Alter your course immediately. The transmission crackled over the radio as the Z-10 pilot banked hard across the Romeo's nose at 500 meters. Just one problem. They were 50 nautical miles away from any Chinese territory, in international airspace, where America had every legal right to be. The Romeo's 3-person crew, 2 pilots and 1 sensor operator, didn't even flinch, because they knew something Beijing didn't. For the next 72 minutes, while trying to intimidate the US Navy, China was about to do something incredibly stupid. See, the Romeo wasn't just sightseeing. Those bumps and bulges on its fuselage, those are AN/ALQ-210 electronic support measures pods. Think of them as digital vacuum cleaners, sucking up every electronic emission from that Z-10. Radar
mental.
frequencies, communication protocols, engine harmonics, everything was being cataloged, while the Chinese pilot thought he was being intimidating. The Z-10 you see flying around here is what happens when you order an Apache helicopter from Wish. Built with leftover Russian design assistance.
Did he just say that?
That's what happens when you order an Apache helicopter from Wish. Oh my god. But I love the fact that like they're in international water. They got every right to be there, and
Yeah.
they're trying to chase him off and be intimidating. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, like the American helicopter's just gathering information from this Apache from Wish. Should be Team You now, no?
Yeah.
Order an
Not
Apache
popular now.
helicopter from Wish, built with leftover Russian
Wish.
design assistance from the 1990s. When Russia needed cash and China needed helicopters, sure, it looks intimidating
It
with
does.
its angular design. But so does a Toyota Camry with a body kit. Beijing's
Fair.
pilot fired 2 flares around the Romeo. This wasn't an attack, it was theater. The aviation equivalent of a chihuahua barking at a pit bull. The American crew's response? They pointed their dipping sonar directly at the submarine below. The message was crystal clear. We still see your friend down there. The submarine, realizing it was still being tracked despite the aerial interference, crash dived in a panic. It made so much noise, cavitation from the emergency dive, hull popping from pressure changes, that sensors across the entire carrier strike group heard it. In submarine warfare, noise equals destruction.
Yeah.
And the Chinese pilot had just punched his own submarine's ticket while trying to protect it, if this had been a real war. But Beijing's pilot was about to discover something worse. Much worse. At 2:48 p.m., after 18 minutes of failed intimidation, the Chinese pilot finally thought he'd achieved something. His fire control radar got a lock on the Romeo. The warbling tone in his headset meant he could finally simulate an engagement. That confidence lasted exactly 3 seconds. That's how long it took for Americans to stop laughing and flip a switch. What happened next was the electronic warfare equivalent of bringing a super soaker to fight Navy SEALs. A nearby EA-18 Growler started blasting the Z-10 with electromagnetic energy using its ALQ-99 jamming pods. Suddenly, the Chinese pilot's radar looked like a TV screen with no signal. His lock
That's
didn't just
I had no
disappear.
idea that they can actually
It's
do
basically
that.
just scrambled everything in there, so he's got no, like he's looking, like he said, at a scrambled TV screen. That's insane.
That's
The
amazing.
thing is, he's turned up there like Billy Big Bollocks, and he just looks like an idiot.
The American helicopter appeared to split into 12 different contacts. Some were flying backwards, others were apparently teleporting.
He must be so
One showed up
confused.
inside his own cockpit. This is what happens
He's
when
hot.
1990s Russian hand-me-down technology meets modern American electronic warfare. The ALQ-99 doesn't just jam radars, it makes them hallucinate. It's frequency agile, hopping across the
It's like putting
electromagnetic
his radar on mushrooms, magic mushrooms, seeing things. I don't know why this has tickled me so much.
spectrum faster than the Chinese radar can follow. While Beijing's pilot was looking on one frequency, the jamming had already moved to 50 others. But it got worse. What appeared on his threat display next gave him goosebumps. The U.S. carrier strike group had just lit him up with their spy radars. That's like having the Eye of Sauron suddenly notice you exist. FA-18 Super Hornets were already launching from the carrier deck, not to engage, but to remind Beijing that this Romeo wasn't alone. It had the entire U.S. Pacific Fleet behind it. The Chinese pilot tried everything, switching frequencies, increasing power, even turning his radar off and on again. Nothing worked. The
That's
Romeo's
what you do when something breaks in the house, isn't it? Turn it on and off.
He's on the phone with a technical. Have you tried switching it on and off? Oh my
I
god.
do that with my computer, and
Yeah.
it's like it's getting
It's
stuck.
slow.
I
Just
just turn
restart
it on
it.
and off.
The thing I never really think about is you always think about the missiles and the bombs and that, but this is like electrical.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's insane. It's electronics. Is it?
Yes.
I think I'm wording it wrong, but you know what I mean.
electronic warfare suite operates across multiple bands simultaneously,
Good.
creating what specialists call the full spectrum dominance experience, or what Chinese pilots call, oh no. Meanwhile, the American crew remained so calm, they were probably discussing lunch plans. They knew in exactly 4 minutes, the situation would get even more embarrassing for China. The Romeo's pilot decided to send another message, a slight bank to point the dipping sonar at the submarine below. The submarine, still being tracked despite all the aerial interference, was now making desperate evasion turns. Each turn created more noise. More noise meant better tracking. The Chinese pilot wasn't helping one bit. The U.S. aircraft commander finally transmitted with the kind of professionalism that only comes from absolute superiority. Chinese military aircraft. This is the United States Navy aircraft, operating in international airspace in accordance with international law. We will maintain course and altitude. Translation: nice try, kid. What Beijing didn't realize was that every second was intelligence gold. The amount of data being collected was staggering. Communication protocols showing their encryption was from 2003. Radar frequencies revealing they hadn't updated since buying the Russian design.
Oh my God.
Even the harmonics of the rotor
It just
blades.
shows how
useful
much of
for-
the stuff you see, you know, when they do those big military parades and then China
Yeah.
and all, it just shows how, like, it's
It's
just
so
a facade. It
outdated.
looks good. It looks good, but when
It's
you,
probably just been repainted.
when you order it from wish.com, this video is not meant to be funny, but it's cracking me up. I don't know
But
why.
how tragic is that?
Well, yeah, but I mean, this pilot's gonna go back. He's gonna high five everyone. He's like, "Oh, so brave." Meanwhile, he's giving them like so much
for
information.
identifying Z-10s from 50 miles away just by sound. But the Chinese pilot wasn't done embarrassing himself. He was about to learn why that was exactly the wrong move. The Z-10 had just entered what Americans call the find out stage. Frustrated by his complete electronic failure, Beijing's pilot closed to 500 meters, thinking proximity would help. At this distance, he could see the American door gunner manning the GAU-21 50 caliber machine gun, not pointing at him yet, but the message was clear. Now the real mismatch became apparent. The Chinese pilot initiated thumping, aggressive maneuvers designed to force a defensive response. The Z-10 suddenly began lunging left and right, pitching up and down in sharp bursts, like a boxer throwing feints to bait a reaction. Each move tried to shove the Romeo into a bad firing position, but the tight turns tanked its airspeed and pushed the Z-10's airframe to its G limit. The Romeo, built on the Black Hawk's proven airframe, can pull significantly higher G-loads while maintaining stable flight. Beijing's pilot was essentially tuckering himself out while the Americans watched. Meanwhile, the sensor warfare was completely one-sided.
He says they're doing all these moves. They're just like, "What are you doing, mate?" You can just imagine him sitting there. He's like, "Yeah, whoa," and they're just looking like, "What the heck? Have I got a zoo creature?" Oh,
No.
thank goodness. I was protecting you guys as much as myself. I thought I had a zoo creature hanging out.
The Romeo's AN/AAR-47 missile warning system was tracking every aspect of the Z-10's movement. Maximum turn rate, 20 degrees per second. Climb performance, 12 meters per second.
They're learning all
This
of
data
it
would
just
later
from this
determine
one idiot.
exactly how to program American missiles to intercept these helicopters. The Z-10 was
Oh, wow.
providing its own defeat instructions. The Romeo's FLIR camera was recording everything in 1080p infrared. Every hotspot was being cataloged. Exhaust ports at 450 degrees Celsius. Transmission housing at 180 degrees. These thermal signatures would tell American engineers exactly where heat-seeking missiles should aim. The Chinese
Flippin'
pilot
heck.
was literally providing a tutorial on how to destroy his helicopter.
Yeah, it's like a target.
And if he thought his own weapons could tip the balance, he was in for another shock. The Z-10's 23mm cannon has an effective range of maybe 2,500 meters against ground targets. Against a maneuvering helicopter, lucky to hit anything at 500 meters. The Romeo's GAU-21 has an effective range of nearly 2,000 meters with armor-piercing incendiary rounds that would punch through the Z-10's cabin like tissue paper, which, given Chinese manufacturing standards, it basically was. By now, the Z-10's warning panel looked like a Christmas tree. The control inputs were getting mushy. His helicopter seemed to be on the verge of literally flying itself to pieces. The Chinese pilot felt the stick fighting him, but running meant court-martial. He switched the warnings to silent and pushed harder for one last maneuver. He attempted radar locks 14 times. Each attempt was a gift to American electronic warfare specialists. The Romeo systems logged every frequency hop, every pulse pattern, every desperate attempt to burn through jamming. It's like
This is
watching
insane,
someone
man.
repeatedly try the wrong password while you write down each attempt. When Beijing's pilot attempted laser designation with his electro-optical system, the Romeo sensors didn't just detect it. They identified the exact model and software version. This meant America now knew how to jam not just this helicopter, but every Chinese vehicle using the same systems.
Oh, man.
One helicopter encounter just compromised an entire generation of Chinese weapons.
Oh, wow.
The stress was becoming
That's
visible
crazy.
now. The Z-10's engines were running at 105% maximum continuous power,
gosh, 105%.
creating an infrared bloom 40% brighter than normal operations. The Romeo's FLIR documented this in exquisite detail. Future American missiles would be programmed to recognize this exact thermal pattern. When a Z-10 pushes hard, it literally lights itself up for targeting. The electronic intelligence collection was even more damaging. Every communication between the pilot and ground control was being intercepted. The frequency hopping pattern was
They
predictable.
literally see,
American systems could
hearing,
now predict
everything.
and jam Chinese military communications across the entire theater. As the encounter dragged on, the Z-10's performance degraded visibly, hydraulic pressure dropping from overheating, transmission temperature climbing into the red zone, flight controls becoming sluggish from overtaxed servos. The helicopter was literally defeating itself through overexertion. At 3:42 p.m., the Chinese pilot watched the Romeo's dipping sonar splash into the water again. The submarine below was still being tracked. After 72 minutes, he hadn't moved the Americans an inch. His thumb hovered over the transmit button to report his failure and decided ground control already knew. They were watching the same radar picture he was. The American crew had accumulated 72 minutes of intelligence gold.
Yeah,
Electronic
which is like-
warfare systems
that's
would know
insane.
exactly which frequencies to jam. Missiles would know exactly where to aim. Tactical computers would know exactly how to outmaneuver it. This revelation makes the message to China clear. Stick to making knockoff iPhones. Bye for now.
Jesus.
Ooh,
That's a bit brutal. Stick to knocking out.
that is insane.
I tell you what they should have done as well is sent them a card, a thank you card. Thanks for the info to the pilot and a little gift basket.
Idea, did he?
Well, he must have known something, but like they said, he couldn't return without them calling him back because he'll get court-martialed. He could get into big trouble over there.
Oh wow! I wonder if he gets to keep his job.
I reckon if they were, I don't know if he's still around after that. They would have done something to him, I'm sure. That's bad, man. But it just shows the technology. And this is only
Yeah.
what, like I say in every military video, this is only what we know about.
Yeah.
What we don't know about, but I mean, like that electronic warfare is crazy.
Yeah.
Those radars just scrambling.
It's actually really shocking, like how old is the software that they have?
Well,
there,
they know
like,
which model it is, when it was installed, who the technician is probably. The thing is as well, it just shows you if they wanted to wipe out like the technology, like in a country, your phones and everything. If they can scramble a helicopter, your
Yeah.
phones in there have got no chance. Surely.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you're
Flippin'.
right.
They could just take over every bit of technology. It's mental. I know that video wasn't meant to be funny. I just found it hilarious that the guy like commenting as well. The Wish,
Yeah.
Wish.com helicopter. So good. Anyway, guys, I know we don't do enough military videos. We should do more, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
I really enjoy them. But I really enjoyed that. I can't stop giggling. I don't know
Well,
why.
it is funny in a way, isn't it? Like.
I just don't know why I'm giggling so much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you have a fantastic rest of the evening, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.